everyone. Tropical rainforests are often called the lungs of the planet, and yet they are facing devastating threats that will have deadly consequences on us and the animals that depend on it. People who work to help this ecosystem are truly heroes, and today I'm very excited to find out more about what one of these NGOs is doing to keep our greenery thriving. Welcome, founder and director of One Stop Borneo, Shavez Cheema.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm fantastic as usual, and I hope you're well.
Yes, I'm very excited to chat with you.
Same here.
So first off, I wanted to start back at the beginning. You grew up in Brunei, where you study sociology and anthropology. Is that how you say it? And today you
Correct.
are a naturalist and a passionate conservationist, of course. In 2012,
Yes.
One Stop Borneo officially started, an organization created to help the environment and be the voice of the voiceless, as you say it. It started in Brunei, but then expanded to Sarawak and Sabah later on. As stated on your Facebook page, your NGO's mission is to discover, protect, and love. I love that mission. What is the most memorable discovery you have done during this decade?
Memorable discovery. Well, this decade is only 2 years old. What is the most memorable discovery? I think one of the most interesting things which I've learned the last 2 years is my latest work. Well, not really mine, but what I mean is what I'm doing in the field. It's a group work. We're learning more about figs, ficus fruit, which is a type of fruit, and how the whole ecosystem is interconnected with this one fruit. I mean, there are different species in this particular group of family, this family of figs, but how important it is in the ecosystem, how so many hornbills, binturong, mammals, snakes, and night birds are interlinked with this family of fruit, and how important it is in the ecosystem, and how it can be used for wildlife tourism, which creates jobs, pumps money into the economy, and also reforestation. So we can use those fruits and use it for replanting purposes, and how it is good for the ecosystem. That's, I think, one of the most interesting discoveries I've done the last 2 years, this decade.
I definitely, and happy 10th anniversary to your organization.
Yes, this year is going to be it. Yep.
Do you see any difference in the conflict between wildlife and humans in Sabah versus Brunei or Sarawak?
I cannot comment much about Brunei and Sarawak, but Sabah, there are many instances I've seen of, let's just say, tension between wildlife and people. For example, elephants in plantations, So I've seen this was quite bad when I first came here, but things are improving because there's so many amazing organizations out there. Seratu Atai, DGFC, Hutan, and Earthworm, even One Stop Borneo in our project site. This is just a few of us, and there's so many others who are doing fantastic work, combined effort, and I feel like the tension is getting less because more solutions are coming on the table. I've seen otters conflict with fishermen. Some fishermen don't like otters, for example, because they come to the aqua farms and eat them out, So, however, there is awareness coming in, and I feel like things are changing a little bit and to the better, slow, but in the right direction. So I feel like Sabah is in the right place. In Brunei, in Sarawak, I personally do not know of many conflicts or tensions between wildlife and people, which I can't think of it right now from the top of my head. I can only comment about Sabah for now.
Yeah, well, it's great to know that someone like you who's worked so much in the field and hands-on, that saying that it's getting better. It's real hope for the future. You have a structure that you regularly work by called the 4 E's: education, enforcement, enrichment of habitat, and economy. I want to elaborate a bit by highlighting some projects you run for each sector. Let's start with education. The first one, you are challenging schools in Sabah to become plastic free. Can you tell us how this program works and how many schools have participated so far?
Yeah, so before I do that, education basically means we have a very comprehensive education program. We do wildlife workshops, we do monthly exhibitions. And regarding this No Plastic campaign, a few years ago, we came up with an alliance called Borneo Tanpa Plastic, which basically means no plastic in Borneo. So the plastic free school program is basically, we try to team up with schools and make them go plastic bag free. How to make a school go plastic bag free? You have to find out the source of plastic bags in a school. The source are canteens. So we make an agreement with the school, that with the principal, that they will instruct the canteen to not serve any more plastic bag after an agreed period. So after they agree for it, we have a signing ceremony, hand over a banner, and so on. So this is how we have made 5 schools go plastic bag free and 1 school go plastic bottle free to date. And we try to do it in areas, especially where we know there's a lot of high conservation value, for example, near bays where there could be dolphins or turtles. So we try to work with these schools as well. So this is what the campaign is at this present time. We have had over 20,000 petition signs as well, and for this particular campaign. So that's how this particular No Plastic School program works.
Great to know that the kids are also being educated about it, because they'll
I mean, if those five schools, we made a calculation, if those 5 schools truly do live up to their pledge and go plastic bag free alone, they will save almost up to 1 million plastic bags in total a year, combined total. So hopefully from 2022 onwards, we're saving 1 million plastic bags going into the ocean or into the dumps from these 5 schools alone.
Wow, that makes a huge difference. Let's talk about enforcement now. I saw you are collaborating with Wildlife Rescue Unit, but you also have your own rescue framework. Again, a lot of projects going on, but can you sum up the idea behind Plant for Borneo Elephants? I found it a great way to work on the human-elephants conflict or tension, as you said.
Yeah, enforcement, basically, before I answer that again, because I wonder the audience might get confused, enforcement is we try to assist the government wherever possible by placing camera traps in the forest and giving them the data. We train poachers to become guides. You know, we train them to change their livelihoods. That's one way of reducing issues in the forest. And now Plant for Borneo Elephants is perhaps it is the only conservation and tourism project in the world where we collaborate with palm oil plantations. You see, if you Google elephant deaths in Malaysia, most of the elephant deaths you will see will be in plantations in Johor or Sabah. So we thought, hey, why not we work with plantations? If tourists can go to Kinabatangan River, Danam Valley to see elephants on the car and on the boat, why not we do the same concept in a palm oil plantations? So we were concerned that certain groups of the people, especially Western visitors, they may not be liking this idea because of the negative stigma attached to the plantation industry. So we worked with this particular plantation in the east coast of Sabah. And what we do is in the morning we come with visitors, and then we plant trees in the wildlife corridor over there. We plant fig trees, dipterocarp, and in the afternoon we do a 4-wheel safari looking for elephants. So this is why we call it Plant for Borneo Elephants. This raises value for elephants in the plantations. Now the plantations, hopefully, at least this particular one, will view elephants as an asset, not a liability. They see, wow, money is being pumped in. Tourists are paying for the accommodation, for the meals, for the guides, and so on. So this is the main idea, and I hope more plantations will do this project because it is very easy to be replicated.
So we just have to talk about pangolins, as I can tell you particularly emphasize this endangered species. You can see a picture of you in the background. Is it the one that needs the most rescuing in our region?
To tell you the truth, I didn't get into pangolins just because I wanted to get into pangolins. I somehow got into pangolins as well. You see, as we have this education program, after every school workshop, somebody calls, a parent or a student says, hey, we have a python at home. Hey, we have a pangolin at home. Hey, we have this at home. So I do 1 rescue. I do 2 rescues. The word gets around. Then I get more rescue calls. Hey, this guy is the pangolin guy. Give him some pangolins. If you have one at home, you know, either they're rescued or being poached, to give it to me for free, and then we release them. So I kind of got into it because of our education work, and nobody else wanted it. Nobody else was getting the calls, and I guess my number was being shared around. And I do have a soft spot for pangolins because I love them. And after seeing almost 80 of them, I see their amazing behavior, how they can swim, how they can climb trees. So I got into that. And then they are indeed the most critically endangered mammal being trafficked least in this area in the world. I live in a jungle and I do a lot of walks. I've never seen a pangolin in the wild, almost only once. So I do know they are very rare and difficult. So yes, we are trying our best to raise awareness about this species, trying to help them through rescues, through awareness, and it's working slowly. And a lot of other organizations are doing it as well. So yeah, we try to work as much as possible with the Wildlife Rescue Unit, which is the Wildlife Department, and other groups. But I get calls from Brunei, Sarawak, and Sabah, so I try to assist wherever I can.
Yeah, sometimes I heard you said sometimes you get calls very early in the morning. I wonder how you
Yes.
take care of that. You must really love pangolins to get up that
Yeah, I
early.
get calls at 2 a.m., 3 a.m.s, and we just had two pangolins last 5 days, and they were also late night calls. So yeah, it's an all night job, all morning job.
That's dedication right there. I'll also take the opportunity to remind there is an event coming up soon related to World Pangolin Day, as you said. It's happening on the 16th and 17th April at Tame. Is there anything you can share about that event, which will happen these days?
Yeah, I will send you the poster soon. But basically, it's the former pillars of Sabah in in Sabah. It's called the Sargik Art Space now, where you can see the whale shark near Surya Sabah. So it's going to be a 2-day exhibition. So anybody can come in at any time between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. See the amazing pangolin photos, perhaps, and other organizations which will be there as well. So yeah, it's just an open exhibition. We'll have some banners around, but we also have some activities around. For example, on day one, there'll be a panel moderating session between Elisa Panjang, Puan Nurain from Wildlife Department, and myself. We'll be talking about pangolin conservation in Sabah. The next day, we'll be having different games like treasure hunt, and book club, and announcement of winners of the TikTok and art competition, and giving certificates to the previous pangolin rescuers. So there'll be many activities happening, and we will share the tentative program and the posters on social media very soon.
So the third E would be enrichment of habitat, which would be about planting fruit trees to attract wildlife into the corridors. As a reminder to anyone watching, a corridor is a belt of land linking two areas to encourage the movement of animals. One of your projects is the Plant for Tawau project, which works to plant corridors between the Tawau Hills Park and Gamok Park. How many trees have you planted so far, and how many of them have been planted by volunteers? Because I know people can plant trees under their name.
Yeah, so Plant for Tawau, we have not planted too many trees yet. We have planted around 250 trees, but we have realized it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. So we try to grow them as healthy as possible in the nursery, and then we plant them. So a lot of the trees, actually soon there'll be lot of trees being planted, because we have been growing them since last year. So they're getting healthy, they're eager, they're hungry to be planted. So there'll be a lot of more planting happening this and next month in Plant for Tawau. And yes, volunteers can come and plant trees. They have come, or they can just purchase the tree, 20 ringgit per person per tree. And in the Plant for Borneo Elephant Project, we have planted over 1,200 trees. So total around 1,500 trees, you may say, roughly, we have planted so far in these two corridors.
That's already quite a few trees, and I'm guessing with COVID now, there's not as many people coming to volunteer to plant trees, but I hope that'll resume very soon. How do you make sure that the corridors will stay protected and the animals stay within them? Are there like any patrols, or is it just completely closed off from the rest?
Well, first of all, the corridors will stay there because the partners, stakeholders who are involved in it, they have written agreements that this will stay as a buffer zone or a replanting site. Regarding the animals stay inside, well, we can only hope they will stay there. But we know for a fact that if they wanted to go into the plantation and go to the other reserve, they would have done it by now. But they don't want to do that right now because they don't want to walk through plantation. So I think the more trees we have in between, naturally they will go into it. And animals are not, I mean, they're pretty smart. The moment they go off the corridor and go into the plantation too far, I'm sure they'll find their way back. But at least, but you're right. How do we do that? I mean, one way is to do those green bridges and so on, or fences. But I guess we're going to do it organically and see how it goes, and also learn from other groups. At the moment, our main goal is to propagate as many trees as possible and plant them in the field, and so on. The one way would be to do enforcement will be to tourism as well. More people visiting the site, more volunteers planting trees, more human presence will ensure there'll be less poaching, because poachers don't usually like confrontation with their people. So that's actually a free way to do enforcement.
The final E for economy is supporting the local economy through tourism, probably the hardest sector to continue during these past 2 years. What is the current project you are working on to relaunch this part of your framework?
Basically, economy means trying to develop long-term sustainable wildlife tourism projects. You see most NGOs and scientists out there, no offense to anybody, we are also on the same wagon. We are all professional beggars, right? We're always asking for money and donations. So it's not really sustainable in the long run for a project. I mean, at least doesn't create value. Yes, grants can make organizations survive for decades, and many of them do. But we want masses to be interested in conservation. Hey, there's a value that you can make a job through it. So we develop tourism projects, wildlife tourism programs, and hopefully this way we can earn some money. And for local people, they get jobs, money pumped into the economy, and we can use a profit to run these programs. So our main projects are the Plan for Borneo Elephants, the Borneo Dolphin Project, and the Tawa Hills program. So where we're doing wildlife tourism, basically. So that is what we have been doing before, and we'll be continue to do that. And hopefully, like you said, tourism has been the biggest hit sector. It will rise back very soon.
So let's talk about this.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's the green screen is because it's green. It's okay. It's leaves. One
Okay.
Stop Borneo published the Ara magazine. Ara, I believe, means fig tree. Pokok Ara, I heard you say it once. That was released in October 2021. And this is the first of its kind in Borneo to be entirely about wildlife. So definitely a unique one you might want to get your hands on. Can you tell us a bit about what it includes and where people can find it? And also, is it going to be a monthly thing? I know this is just volume 1.
The Ara magazine is basically a magazine, like you said, is to represent conservation on Borneo. And there's a section, there are different sections, Sabah, Sarawak, Brunei, Kalimantan. So we have invited organizations from all these areas. Each organization gets one page, and they get to have anything featured there, any of their project progress, or anything which they want to talk about, that particular species or so on. So every organization gets one page, 200 to 250 words, and 4 to 5 pictures. Make it fun and easy, you know. So it's in English and Malay. It will be coming out every 6 months, and volume 2 will be hopefully out in June. We'll be start editing it in end of this month in May. And where is it available? First of all, it's an e-magazine, so anybody can download it on our website, onestopborneo.org, and it's right at the top. It's in Malay and English. Download it for free. Please print it out, share it with friends. But if you want to go to a coffee shop and read it, where can you get it? Well, there are at least 10 shops in Kuching which have it, like Bing, James Bistro, Earthlings, and Coffee Obsession. In Brunei, there are at least 10 shops, coffee shops, and cafes as well, which have this magazine, like Reese Cafe. In KK, there are also almost 10 shops, like October Coffee House, Biko, Coffee Bean, and so on. So yeah, this magazine is supposed to be free, informative. Hopefully more people who want to know more about what's going on in the nature conservation field in Borneo and want to get involved or support and just learn more amazing things happening in Borneo. That's what this magazine is all about. There's a section on fun facts for wildlife. There's a section for scientists, journals to read a month. There's a section for books of the month. There's a section for just almost tips on how to do bird watching or a book club. So it's an all-round magazine.
What do you hope people will take away from it?
I hope more people will get inspired by the amazing work happening, maybe volunteer their time. If they like a particular group, they can support them individually, or just appreciate and share the word around of that organization, the grassroots group, which is doing a good job, and get involved and just, yeah, be inspired and share the love and share the passion and share the work happening by everybody and just get educated. Yeah, of that particular topic and so on, and enhance your knowledge and just have a nice browse. That's the objective.
As per your mission, actually, on the Facebook page, share the love of nature.
Yes.
I saw there is also a guide coming up soon, I think, called A Field Guide to Tawa Hills Park. Could you explain?
Well, it's out actually. Yeah, it's out already. And it was 6 years in the making. Basically, it's a Tawa Hills Park is a park, just like other parks in Sabah, like Danum Valley or Malaya Basin. So we wrote this book. I'm the main author along with Chun Sing Wong, John Payne, and Puan Rimi Rupin from Sabah Parks. This book is basically all about the park, all kind of fauna and some flora found in the park. So there's a section of mammals, birds, snakes, frogs, insects, and figs and begonia. And there are 338 species of birds in the park. We have recorded 87 species of frogs, 51 species of snakes, 107 species of mammals. So these are our findings so far. So it's quite an interesting book. Lots of very nice pictures, and the text is, I think, easy to read, not very technical at all. So the book is hopefully representing Tawa Hills Park. But to tell you the truth, you could use that book anywhere. You could go to Danam Valley, Mulu, any park, and it will represent that, because it's, I think, a well-rounded book which represents a lot of things. Yeah.
On that note, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me, Chavez. I really enjoyed
Thank
chatting with
you.
you today. I just
I
know that
enjoyed
your
it too. Yeah.
organization is going to do so many more great things for the environment, and I look forward to
Thank
seeing
you.
it progress even more than it already has. I know you are releasing a turtle tomorrow. Lucky you. I believe these
Yes.
moments are worth the everyday hard work you are doing, even at 2
Correct.
a.m. in the morning. Please take care and stay safe, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much for having me here, and thank you for the wishes and kind words, and thank you so much, and I hope the best for you, and I hope to see you soon, and hope to see you during the exhibition, and enjoy the magazine.
Yes, I'll definitely be at the exhibition. Thank you
All
again.
right. All right. Take care.
Thank you for watching today's interview. Without people like Chavez and his team, the world would already be doomed without rainforests. But thanks to them, there's still hope for the future. Make sure to follow their journey and project updates on their social media, and I'll hopefully see you all at their Pangolin Day event. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.